Okay, let's unpack this. I mean, picture it. You're in a conference room. You're staring at a projector, and suddenly you have like 4 different laptops that all need to connect, a Mac, a PC, an old one, a new one.
Yeah.
And you have that sinking feeling. You realize you need this entire arsenal of adapters and dongles. It's a real headache. So for our deep dive today, we're looking at a fascinating solution to that exact problem. It's the Kramer Case-Biter multi-format adapter. It's discontinued now, but it's really illuminating.
It really is. And our mission today is to, break this device down and understand the engineering challenge it was trying to solve, which was really high-performance, multi-format consolidation.
Right.
The Case-Biter's goal, on paper, was pretty simple. It was to let one source, whether that's HDMI, DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort, or USB Type-C, connect reliably to just a standard HDMI input.
And the physical design is definitely where it gets that memorable name from. It's literally a multi-headed cable.
The spider body, yeah.
With 4 male input connectors for all the major formats. And they're on these really short pigtails, only about 2.5 inches long.
And all of those inputs, they all converge into a single long output cable.
A 10-foot HDMI cable.
Exactly. And for the professional presentation market, that was a radical simplification. You're replacing this whole messy pile of separate cables and dongles with just one unit.
And it was designed to be plug and play, right?
Yeah.
No software needed.
Completely plug and play. This was serious professional gear. I mean, you can tell because it came with a 7-year Kramer warranty. It was also TAA compliant.
Which means it met those key U.S. government procurement standards.
Right.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. For a cable that's almost 10 feet long.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just, use thicker copper wire and call it a day? Why did it need electronics inside the adapter?
That is the critical question, because this thing wasn't just a passive bundle of wires, it was specifically an active adapter. At those lengths, especially when you're pushing really high data rates like full 4K video at 60 hertz, a passive cable often just fails. The signal degrades.
It just can't make the trip.
It can't. Digital signals need incredibly precise timing. So the active electronics inside the Case-Biter, what they did was retime, or you could say regenerate the signal before it went down that long HDMI cable. That retiming is what guaranteed you got the full resolution, the full signal quality. It's a real engineering solution.
So if it's handling that kind of high-end digital video,
yeah,
I'm guessing it also had to play nice with all the copyright protection stuff.
Oh, absolutely. To even exist in that premium video space, it had to comply with some very serious industry standards. The big one, of course, was HDCP 2.2.
Right, high bandwidth digital content protection.
Exactly. It's basically the digital handshake you need to play protected content, from Netflix or even from secure corporate presentations. If this adapter didn't have robust HDCP 2.2 compliance, the screen would often just go black.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, we did see one little technical note in the sources about mobile devices. It said if you wanted to use a smartphone with the USB-C head, there was a specific requirement.
And that's a critical caveat. For a smartphone to output video over USB-C, the phone itself has to support something called DisplayPort Alt Mode. If your phone doesn't support that, then this really fancy adapter is.
Well, it's basically a paperweight for that specific input. It just highlights how much performance depends on the source device, not just the cable.
And finally, all those active electronics inside needed some fuel. We saw it required optional auxiliary power. Right. The cable itself weighs less than a pound, but to guarantee that peak performance, especially over that distance and with all that signal processing, it needed a little help. It was designed to accept auxiliary power 5 volts at 1 amp through a separate USB-A connector. That just made sure the signal retiming was always working perfectly. So after going through all this, what does it all mean? I mean, even though the Case-Biter is discontinued, devices like it really underscore this persistent need in the market, a need for streamlined, high-res connectivity that can handle a wild mix of inputs, both old and new.
And considering its high compliance with standards like RoH's, DOE, FCC, all of that, consider this. We're seeing the rise of these unified high-speed ports like USB-C that can carry almost any signal. So how quickly will that truly standardize everything and change the need for these kinds of physical hubs? Will the standardization of ports finally truly kill the dongle for good? Or will manufacturers always find new ways to differentiate ports, making devices like the Case immortal in their necessity? That's something for you to mull over.